Hey folks, welcome to Unqualified, the fantasy football podcast that's been drinking Whiteclaws since 2017. Whiteclaw is my religion. I'm your producer, Rob Diesendorf, here with Sean Brady and Scott Johnson, two fantasy football rivals that have been sabotaging each other for years, but they decided to come together to help you win your league and make your friends look like idiots. How's it going, fellas?
It's good. I'm going to go on a limb here and say I like Bon Vive better than Whiteclaw.
Wow.
Bit of a hot take. Oh, you agree?
I agree.
Okay.
I'm a Bon Vive guy.
You're an elderflower flavor
love
guy?
that flavor.
Yes.
So good.
Hibiscus and elderflower.
Hibiscus. Oh,
Give me the
hibiscus
straight up
is good
lime.
for blood,
Give me the lime.
blood pressure.
That's all I need.
I can't
is
stand lime. Yeah,
Oh, so it's good for me.
hibiscus flowers is good for your blood pressure. So, ipso facto, Bon Vive is better for you than White Claw.
It also has 0 grams of sugar, whereas White Claw has 2 grams of sugar.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
You know what the difference between 0 grams and 2 grams is?
2 grams.
200%.
That's good math right there. Well,
Actually, it is.
I guess
And
that's
if you
true.
judge that in milk fat percentage, that is astronomical.
I'm going to name some of the flavors of Bon Vive. Black cherry rosemary, elite. Amazing combo. Never would have thought that would work. Grapefruit, okay. Pear elderflower, fantastic.
Why do
Cranberry,
they all have
nah.
grapefruit? Grapefruit's the worst one.
Yeah.
Have you tried garlic and herb?
Ranch and blue cheese flavor.
Yeah.
Clementine hibiscus, fantastic. Lemon lime, Prickly pear, good.
They love to name a semi-normal flavor and then just throw something crazy in there.
Yeah.
It's like mango and some grass.
Mango and cactus.
Cactus.
Black cherries and chocolate chips.
Grape and Grey Poupon.
Lemons and pine cones.
Pine Sol.
I think we can all agree that it's the White Claw and Bon Vive are better than Corona tried to do something like that, and it had like 24 grams of sugar each.
Ugh.
Gross.
No,
I do want to try the
love
Natty
to-
Light ones, the Refresca thing.
Oh, no, thank you. No.
I got to try it.
I would love to know the numbers behind this trend, because I honestly believe there's no other alcohol that exists anymore. I don't think there is.
Yeah.
I haven't touched any other alcohol other than a White Claw
We're about to get
for
to
the
one.
past 4 months.
Well, we're gonna have to switch gears for our next challenge that we've been cooking up here.
Here it is.
It's beer time. Scott, do the honors.
Oh, me? Oh. All right. Well, we got such good response from the the food mascot death challenge that we decided to open it up, do another challenge here before the season is over. Coaching Tree Beer Olympics. So we have 4 different segments here that are from different coaching trees. So you talk about Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick. From those guys, there have been assistants that have become their own head coaches. So that's how we split up these segments and brackets. But this is Beer Olympics. Who would you rather have right next to you playing beer pong, flip cup, slap cup, all of the games, all the beer
With
Olympic
White
games
Claws,
out there,
of course.
or with White Claws? Who would you rather have standing next to you in all of those games? That's the question.
You guys already know my answer.
Bob Wiley.
Bob Wiley.
Unfortunately, he doesn't meet the criteria as not a head coach, at least not yet. So we got the Andy Reid coaching tree, which consists of Frank Reich, Doug Peterson, Matt Nagy. It's a little up and down there. We got Bill Parcells coaching tree with Sean Payton, Mike Zimmer, my dark horse for this whole thing, and Anthony Lynn. We got Bill Belichick with Matt Patricia and his pencil, and Mike Vrabel and Bill O'Brien, and then John Gruden. John Gruden's got his brother Jay, Sean McVay, and Kyle Shanahan. Unquestionably the coolest of the 4, but is it the best? And we're going to have to throw it over to the listeners to find out.
Yeah. That's for you guys to vote on.
Well, I know you have your rules, but I really think you should make an exception for Bob Wiley.
He has a first week bye and a second week bye.
He'll be like he'll be the final boss, just like the Chihuahua was.
Yeah. He's like Bowser.
Wow, that's a cop-out. I think you guys know he would win if you put him in the bracket.
Possibly. He's a tank. He's a unit.
Fine. Final boss, I'll take it.
Is that good enough for you?
Scott, early favorites here. I really think Zimmer is a strong candidate, but I don't know. I don't know if anybody else jumps out to you.
Vrabel, all the way. He is like he's the guy that used to smack beer cans against his head, like do the Stone Cold Steve Austin thing, like do some gargoyles on the keg and then boot and rally. Like he's a psycho. Vrabel's my dark horse.
Sleeper pick here, Doug Peterson. Anybody that wears a visor with that much regularity has downed some beers. That's all I'm going to say. He's been there.
I would say Bill
The only
O'Brien,
way to get-
but he just looks like he has like a crisp IPA every now and then.
Yeah,
And then
he's
done.
a grumpy boy.
Grumpy Gills. What were you gonna say, Rob?
I was going to say the only way to confidently wear a visor is to drink away your pride.
I think it's gone when you put a visor on.
Yeah, exactly. So in order to get to that point, you have to drink away any sort of, what's the word?
Visor?
What word am I searching for right now?
Sorrows?
Hey, sorrow?
I don't know what you're going for.
I don't know. Integrity.
Inhibitions? Oh. Yeah, that's fine.
That's probably not even it.
Pride.
We should get visors. We should get unqualified visors.
UQ visors.
How
UQVs.
effing
Once I drink enough
popular
White
would
Claw.
that be? Exactly. People walking around with the orange visor. I think that'd be definitely a look.
That's
I don't
a
think it'd
slam
That
good
would be a
one.
great branding moment.
It
for
would
us.
be.
A gray one with some like bright orange lettering.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, some bright orange piping around the edges. Yeah, everyone loves a good piping.
Big pipe guy.
Huge pipe guy. This is going well.
And without further ado, let's get to the Week 11 games of the
Pipes
week.
of the week.
Games of the week time. We got Crunchwrap Supreme Games of the week. You know how we started. It was with the Crunchwrap Supreme. Had some talk about this past weekend.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
not disappoint. Not disappoint.
I went with the crispy spicy potato soft taco, but there were some crunch wraps to be had.
You can't go wrong with the with what you got either. But what you can go wrong with is picking between the Texans and Ravens. Tough matchup here. Texans at Ravens. Ravens are favored by 4.5 right now. So Watson on the Texan side, pretty well deserved rest last week, and these two are like top in the MVP candidate discussion, along with Russell Wilson. I will say Ravens have held opposing quarterbacks to 3 touchdowns over the past 4 weeks they played. That included Russell Wilson and Tom Brady in those 4 games. They've also let up just 1 rushing touchdown since week 6. So the Ravens defense, it's actually statistically not as bad for fantasy purposes as we maybe originally thought. What do we think of the Ravens side?
I mean, this is going to be a track meet. I respect everything you just said about the Ravens defense, but Deshaun Watson is a whole nother animal this year. I see this game being like 35-32. Like, I think there's going to be lots of points to be had. I think Hopkins goes off. I think Lamar goes off. I think Watson goes off. Maybe even Mark Ingram. I mean, I think this is a shootout. And because it's a shootout, I'll take the home team here in the Ravens, but you know, I would not be surprised at all if the Texans pull this off on the road.
Yeah. I like that. Baltimore at home in the last 8 games, they've been 7-1, their actual record, but they haven't been able to cover the spread. Their past 10 home games, they've gone 2-8 against the spread. So Texans been a covering machine on the road, 7-3-1 against the spread in their past 11 games, which they've gone 8-3 straight up. and they're 5-1 against the spread in their past 6 games overall. So I'll take the Texans in this one as well. I like that. Saints at Bucks, the next one. Saints are favored by 4.5. What the hell happened to the Saints last week? Can you explain that to me? No touchdowns?
I actually can't explain it. I don't think they fully trusted Kamara yet off his injury. They didn't. I mean, I know
Definitely
he got
not.
the ball a lot, but it wasn't like his full featured workload. Like they kind of took a little bit off his plate. I think he'll be obviously better this week. He, avoided re-injuring himself. He did look pretty good. He could have had a touchdown, but he slipped on one play. I think this is a get-right game for the Saints. Look, I know the Bucks have been hanging around in games and making plays, but the Saints win this game. They need it, in order to get that home field advantage, and I just don't see the Bucks stopping Drew Brees and especially Michael Thomas at this point.
Yeah, I like that. On the Bucks side, O.J. Howard, we said that he had a good matchup last week and that he would have a good game. He did. First touchdown of the year. This is a pretty tough matchup. I think it was just a result of the Cardinals last week for O.J. Howard. I would sit the running backs on the Bucks too. Ronald Jones, I mean, he had a really good game, but the Saints defense, the rush defense, is top 5 right now. So I'd play Jameis on the wide receivers if you can. Saints are 8-3 straight up and against the spread in their past 11 November games. So that includes the Falcons game, but I don't know. I don't understand how they lost that one. I don't think they lose another one, and especially with the spread. So I'm going to take the Saints in this one, -4.5. I like that.
Yeah, totally agree. They're too well coached as well. Even though Sean Payton might not be a heavy contender for our beer Olympics, I do think he'll have his team ready to go in Tampa Bay.
He's overrated for that. He's going to get out round 1, I think, in the beer Olympics. He seems like a bitch. Patriots at Eagles. Patriots favored by -3.5 here. So, former Super Bowl upset here. What 2 years ago? 3 years ago now?
Yeah.
Eagles beat the Patriots. So, TB12 pass catchers, really good matchup here against the Eagles secondary. But I would sit Sony Michel for this week if you can afford it. Past 2 weeks, he hasn't done nearly anything, and a lot of it's been game flow. So James White, Rex Burkhead, they're getting some more work. Mohamed Sanu, like Tom Brady's new toy, he's been using a lot. What do you think of the Patriots Eagles here?
I mean, you already know where I'm going. I've been riding the Eagles all year, and and tell me who the Patriots have beaten this year. What's their marquee win? Buffalo?
Garbage.
Buffalo's not even
Browns?
good. So, I think the Eagles getting 3.5 points at home. Look, I know the Patriots have a superior record. I know I know what their defense looked like. I know that they can exploit the Eagles' weaknesses, but I don't know. It's just it doesn't make sense to me. I think the Eagles have had a much rougher schedule so far, and I think these teams, in terms of talent, are a lot closer than people realize. I'll take the Eagles here to pull off the upset at home.
I like that. I don't know. I could see this, like the Eagles winning by 3 here and therefore covering, or even like losing by 3 and they would cover. But I feel like the Patriots, after a bye week, they're going to have a ton more to throw at the Eagles, and they're just a little better coached, obviously, than the Eagles are. So I'm going to take the Patriots. Next one, we got Chiefs at Chargers. This is in Mexico City, Monday night, which I still don't understand how we're doing these games, and I don't remember any memorable game from Mexico City slates. Do you remember any games from there?
I think.
It's always the Raiders.
I know the one last year got canceled.
Yeah, Chiefs Rams. That would have been a good one.
It would have been. It actually wound up even better the way it turned out. But again, give me the Chiefs here. I just think they have a superior organization. I think all the things you don't think about, like how professional they are when they travel and their medical staff and all that stuff. They'll be ready to go in this weird situation. We know the Chargers can't even get fans at their home stadium. So how are they going to get people to watch this game in Mexico? I don't know. So this is
maybe they get more.
Maybe they will, honestly. But I really see the Chiefs getting right, kind of like the Saints here. I think it's a get right game for Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. I think they win big. I think they could put up 45, 50 points this week.
Also, for not daily fantasy, for season long fantasy, you're really not sitting anyone on these teams.
Right.
First of all, Melvin Gordon, Austin Eckler, you're playing. Eckler's a flex. It doesn't change against the Chiefs. Eckler might actually even do better because they'll be pass catching. He'll be pass catching a lot. Phillip Rivers is the only guy you could really sit effectively. Mike Williams Chiefs are 7th best against the wide receiver this year. So, and Rivers looks really off. So that in turn doesn't help Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, but you're not sitting Keenan Allen. The Chargers are 23rd against running back, so Damian Williams is not a bad play. For the actual line, Chiefs minus 4.5. Andy Reid coaching against AFC West teams, they've gone 23-2 straight up against divisional opponents and 18-7 against the spread since 2015. That's insane.
Thank you very much. I'll take that.
I'll take that in a rebound from the Titans. I was dead wrong about that last week, but we'll move on. Doritos Locos Tacos, properly hyped, but missing some clout. Cowboys at Lions is a pick'em, and that's because Matthew Stafford's status is up in the air. So once he's decided he's going to play or not, this will change. But as of now, it's a pick'em. But Cowboys losing last week to the Vikings, who we thought were kind of a fraudulent team. I think the Cowboys are just like very middle of the road. Dak is lighting it up, but they just keep on losing. So Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup are wide receiver 1 and 3, respectively. Zeke isn't doing as well this year as I thought he would coming into the year. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. They kind of put the game in his hands, and he blew it. It was a big Sunday night spot, and he couldn't get the yardage they needed to keep the chains moving. And I don't think that's going to continue. I think he'll be fine, and I don't think Stafford will be able to play based on how significant those injuries sound. So give me the Cowboys all day. I was actually really impressed with how they played. I know Jason Garrett screwed them by having Tavon Austin take the fair catch instead of running for the easy, 20, 50 yards, whatever it was.
Yeah.
They probably should have won that game against a really good team. And, I mean, the Cowboys, kind of like the Eagles, they have so much talent that I see them getting right, being there at the end of the regular season picture. And I think this game is going to be a statement game for them. I think they make some big plays here.
Nice. They are. So the Lions are 32nd against running backs. So if Zeke is going to have his week, it's going to be this one, which is perfect for his owners. I saw a stat on Sunday Night Football that Dak had about an 82 QB rating in the 17 games before the Amari Cooper trade. The record was 9-8. And then once that trade happened, he had over 100 rating, and they had a 12-5 record. So that doesn't include the Vikings game. But that's how much Amari Cooper means to this team. Lions are 26th against quarterbacks, so this is the Cowboys' offense's week to shine. And even if it's like they're favored by -3 or -5, I'm still going to take the Cowboys in this game. I agree. Yeah, moving on. Cardinals at 49ers. 49ers are favored by -13.5. Just going to pat myself on the back. Called the Ravens beating the Patriots, the unbeaten team, 2 weeks ago. And I called the Seahawks. That was an insane game, by the way, Monday night. Called the Seahawks beating the 49ers and beating their
this time streak. I was with you. I was with you on that one because I said Russell Wilson, this is the kind of spot where he just wins the game. He's inhuman. And that was it. I mean, look, I love the 49ers as much as the next guy, but I think they win this game against the Cardinals, but there's no way they cover this. I think this actually will be a kind of a fun game because Kyler Murray can keep his team in games. It's that simple.
Yeah, I don't know if I was wrong about him, but he looked really good last week, and he looks like he's getting better every week.
Yeah,
that's so damn short.
That's exactly what you want to see. Like, he's just learning, he's getting better. He actually reminds me a lot of Russell Wilson as a rookie. He really does. He's got a lot of the same characteristics.
Did the Cardinals and the 49ers play already? They did 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it was tight, I think.
Thursday night. It was a Thursday night game. Yeah, the Cardinals came back.
Kenny Drake had his...
Exactly. That was Kenny and Drake's coming out party, yeah. So I think Christian Kirk is a low-end starter in this week. Like, the 49ers is a really tough matchup. You got to look to the week previous, the recency effect. That's how that defense is doing lately. Tyler Lockett did 4 catches for 24 yards, and that's similar to what Christian Kirk's value or slot. They play the same position, basically. So it's kind of a tough one. And what I will say on the other side for the 49... Oh, so no, sorry. Talk about the running backs a little bit more. What are we doing with David Johnson, Kenya Drake, and Chase Edmonds?
Oh, I doubt you have someone that's a better option than David Johnson on your team. I'd probably sit Drake, and I guess you have to play Johnson. I'm not excited about it, but it's one of those things where you just have to do it, you know?
I feel like what would be best is if we're going to have another week like last week. So I have David Johnson in 2 leagues, right? I'm sitting him in both. because their bye is next week.
Ooh.
And the hope is that, yeah, Chase Edmonds will be back probably next, like after the bye, but they'll figure out the pecking order. David Johnson will be the first and second down back. Kenyon Drake will be the change of pace third down back, maybe. Chase Edmonds will be the backup to all of them. And David Johnson has had so many injuries that he just needs like 1 or 2 weeks. So I think this is a sit for him. And then he has a bye, so he's unusable for 2 weeks. But then once he's back, the week before the playoffs, I think that's when I'll play him.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, on the other side, you're playing, I think, both these running backs. I know they had a rough week this past week, but Tevin Coleman, he'll bounce back. I think Breida's still a nice flex play, especially in this matchup. And that passing offense, I know, they lost against the Seahawks, but they looked sneaky good. I know Jimmy G looked a little out of sorts, but I trust that infrastructure, and even some of those younger guys. Like if Kittle's back in the lineup, you're obviously playing him. But if he doesn't, guys like Deebo Samuel, Bourne, like those are deep shots you could take.
Yeah, especially Deebo Samuel. I think Jimmy G and that team was really missing Kittle and Emmanuel Sanders for most of that game. They were dropping passes left and right, and if they had both of them, like who knows what would have happened. But I will say, past 9 meetings between these two teams, 49ers have gone 1-8 straight up and 3-6 against the spread, and they've also gone 0-4 in their last 4 meetings against Arizona. Against the spread, the 49ers have. So, and week 9 they played, right? Cardinals covered as a 10.5 point underdog in the 28-25 Thursday night loss.
And then we get more points.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to take the Cardinals to cover this one.
Same.
Falcons at Panthers next one. Panthers -6. Carolina, 28th best against running backs. But it really doesn't matter for you because it's Brian Poole and or Devontae Freeman. So that doesn't matter, I guess. But play everyone else, obviously, on the Falcons. The Panthers side, the Falcons on defense are 30th against quarterbacks and wide receivers. So maybe Kyle Allen's a sneaky play. Maybe Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore are wide receiver 2 and 3 plays respectively. Or sorry, wide receiver 3 and 2 plays respectively this week. What do we think?
I mean, I picked up DJ Moore in a trade a couple weeks ago, and I am thrilled with the return so far. He hasn't gotten in the end zone a lot, but he's steady, catches the ball a ton, racks up yardage. He is essentially who I thought Robert Woods would be. And and I love it. I'm in on DJ Moore. He looks fantastic. Great rapport with Kyle Allen, and Curtis Samuel makes some big plays. I agree. I think this might be the one game where I'm more excited about those guys than I am about Christian McCaffrey, because I don't think they're going to need to lean on him that much this week. I think the Falcons are blowing smoke. They have nothing. They have Julio Jones. He might make a couple plays. Matt Ryan might play decently well, but the Panthers dominate this game.
I like that. The only thing that gives me pause is for betting. I would try to stay away from this game if I were you, like to bet. Panthers, they're obviously 6-point favorites, but they struggle against the Falcons. Past 7 meetings between these two teams, they've gone 1-6 straight up and against the spread. So Falcons, they're 1-5 against the spread. Their past 6 road games, so that's something too. But they did just beat the Saints last week, so I would actually, if I had to, I would take the Falcons to cover this, but I don't feel great about it. Next ones we got spicy potato taco, light but sneaky good, as you well know from last weekend. Bears at Rams. Rams are favored by 6.5. What do we think?
Oh boy, both these teams have lost their luster. I know the Bears are still good on D. The Rams have not looked good at all on offense. I said it like a month ago. The answer's sitting right there on their depth chart. Darrell Henderson. I don't think they want to play him, and I think it's more for a culture / attitude
respect
reason, because they don't want to piss anybody else off.
Yeah.
But Gurley's not cutting it. Cooper Kupp with no catches last week. I don't think that'll happen again. I still trust him. I'm still starting him as a low-end wide receiver 1. But I'm not excited about the Rams right now, and they're really letting me down overall this year. I had to cut Jared Goff a while back. I've traded Robert Woods or benched him in both my teams that I have him on, and I don't know. I mean, it's not like I have any faith in the Bears at all. I'll take the Rams here, but this is a game you don't want to bet either.
Yeah, it's such a disappointing offense, the Rams this year. I really dislike the Rams offense this year.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Cooper Kupp, yeah, like you said. Brandon Cooks, like, I'm swinging a miss on that one in the offseason. Concussions are another thing, but like Robert Woods has been so disappointing. Gerald Everett is not a bad tight end. I think they need to give the ball to him more, and Darrell Henderson. I agree. Get an offensive line for Christ's sake. I'm going to take... Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll take the Rams. I'm not really excited about this one.
I can't take Mitch in good conscience. I can't do it. He's the worst.
I can't either. Yeah. Broncos at Vikings. Vikings are favored by 9.5. What do you think of this one?
I don't know what to think of this one, honestly. I mean, the Vikings look very good offensively. Dalvin Cook is probably the best running back in the league right now. And, you know, I don't think they'll have that much trouble with the Broncos, but I don't know. It's a big line. Oh, I'm just picturing the skull horn going off, though. Give me the Vikings, I guess. I don't feel great about it, but, I mean, they're clearly superior.
They're going to eviscerate the Broncos in this one. Brandon Allen is going to get picked off. There's going to be 2 pick sixes. If you can get the Vikings defense, pick them up. I think this is my gambling tip of the week. Like, slam this line. I think the Vikings are going to crush them. I think Kyle Rudolph, last week, you're going to look at the recency effect. Broncos have only let up 1 touchdown to tight ends all year. And they've also held every team besides one, which was the Jaguars in week 4, to under 100 yards rushing this year. So tougher sledding for Dalvin Cook, tougher sledding for Kyle Rudolph in this matchup. Also, QB stats against the Broncos are 188 of 294 for 1,900 yards, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, no more than 273 yards in any one game. So it might be tough for Kirk, too. Having said that, that just goes against everything I just said, but the Broncos on offense are going to be that much worse that I don't think it matters. So, and the other thing, Mike Zimmer against an AFC team since 2014, since they hired him, Vikings are 16-6 against the spread, and they're 8-2 straight up and against the spread in their past 10 home games against AFC teams. So
he's got the look. He's got the look of the guy you want next to you on the flip cup table. Dead stare, one flip, money.
Doesn't mess around.
That's it.
Sunglasses.
Hell
in the basement.
Fired up, Mike Zimmer. Let's take the Vikings there, and let's get to our Liv Moss gambling tips of the week. I definitely think the Chiefs are a lock over the Chargers. I'm tempted to say the Saints in a get-right game. I'm tempted to say, who else do we say is a get-right game? I mean, I guess the Vikings, even though they won. I don't know.
It's tough.
And if you're going to bet money lines, I would bet the Eagles because they're a home dog to a team that I'm not sure is that good. And I'm not just saying that as a Jets fan. I actually have not been convinced by the Patriots yet this year. And I know it's saying a lot with their defense playing like it has, but
Take schedule, man.
Yeah. So give me the Eagles money line, give me the Chiefs over the Chargers, and then I think I would take the under in a lot of these games. I would take the under in this Broncos-Vikings game.
Bears-Rams, definitely under.
Oh, the Panthers, too. Give me those Panthers over the Falcons. That's a lock.
You heard it here first.
Don't be scared off by losing all that money on the favorites last week. There's some obvious winners out there. Go find them.
That does it for Week 11 preview. 3 weeks left until fantasy football playoffs start. So it is crunch time here.
It's time to break out the visor, break out the orange piping, and get ready to make some moves towards the fantasy playoffs.
Get ready to pipe.
Break out the Whiteclaw
and the Bon Vive, not the Corona Refresca, and apparently not the Natty Light refreshers.
And a little quick tip for all you out there: if you work at a company that gives you meal credits to use or any sort of what is it?
Seamless credit
stipend
voucher.
You call it a stipend. Yeah. Don't forget, I get seamless credits every day for my job. Mm-hmm. Don't forget that you can use that at a deli grocery and get some White Claws with your lunch.
Dude, are you sure it doesn't itemize? Like, you're gonna...
That's a power move.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure I can do this. I've been doing it.
It's good you're putting it out in the ether right now, too, by the way.
Yeah. If anyone hears this, please try it.
And please hold Rob personally accountable for any repercussions.
Exactly. Yeah. If you lose your job, it's not on Sean and I. That means Rob is sabotaging you.
It's good for me.
And he's only doing it because he didn't leave us a freaking review, people. Come on.
LUAR. Leave us a review.
Luar.
Lorfer. Leave us a fucking review.
Leave us a fucking review, or I'll find you and murder your family.
That got piping hot, that take right there.
Acronym for that?
Lorfer.
Luaffer.
Luafr. Luaffer.
Sorry that got so dark.
Don't make Rob go there, listeners. Just leave the review. Then we don't have to do this again.
Just do it for me, Dale.
Well,
see you later.
See you later.